Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Today, we will continue the same discussion and we will understand about few more things. Let me open the same email message or the same email sent. Before moving on, let me discuss one more thing. Here you can see for this particular email sent, we sent to 3 subscribers, and for the 3 subscribers, we can see that one of them clicked on the email, and that is why it is showing us 33.3% click-through rate, right? But we cannot see and open it. Like what? Do you think that somebody can click on the email without opening the email? I mean, that is not possible, right? That we cannot click on a link in the email message without opening the email. Why it is happening? Because Marketing Cloud needs one code snippet, or we can say one open pixel tracking code that Marketing Cloud can track the open activities. We had not inserted that particular code, and that is why it is showing us the open it as 0%. But to track the link, to track the key activities, Marketing Cloud uses a different mechanism that we will be discussing about in a while. But there are two different mechanisms to track the open activity and the click activity. To track the open activity, I will show you in a while that what is the code that we need to insert. Let's go ahead. We have discussed till unsubscribe, and now we are going to talk about Unengage subscribers. It shows that how many subscribers out of 40 subscribers did not engage with our email communication. It shows total delivered, did not click and did not open. It is saying that 3 of the subscribers did not click. All the subscribers did not open the email, but out of 3, 1 clicked on a link in the email message. That was the update profile link. Next, we have forward to a friend activity. Yesterday, we discussed about the forward side. We need to include that code snippet or link the link in our email message. And what happens if somebody clicks on that particular link and then forwards that email to a friend? We can track those activities. Now it says click forward link. We can track how many times the forward link was clicked, how many times somebody forwarded. And when an email is forwarded to any of the friend, who is not the existing subscriber for Marketing Cloud, then what happens? The friend gets one option in the email message to become a subscriber that, like the friend, can receive the further communication from Marketing Cloud. Let's say we are reading this one article and I want to share this with my friend, right? I want to share this email message, or maybe I want to forward this email message to my friend. And now my friend is more interested in this category and he also wants to receive similar communication from the organization. Instead of me forwarding again and again to the friend, my friend can also subscribe to the email communication that he can also receive the similar articles in the future. We can track how many times the link was clicked, how many times the email was actually forwarded, and then how many new subscribers we have got as part of this email communication for this particular email sent. Any doubts, Far? If no doubt, let's move on. In the Overview tab, you will see this navigation bar at the top for all these options. Here, if you click on the export, we can export this entire summarized data or the entire summary in the form of a PDF or an Excel sheet. And then we have what all we want to export. And if you want to download this, or if you want to view this in a browser, or if you want to send this as an email attachment. If you choose this option, we have to mention the email address and the subject line. In summary, we saw all things like an overview. We saw the entire summary of all the things that we have. Now, if you want to know more about the click activities, we have a separate tab for this. In this, we have two different views. One is the email overlay view and another is the link view. Now, email overlay view gives you a kind of a screenshot in which the percentage of the click will be shown next to the link in the email message. Let's say we have an email message and in which we have 5 different links, maybe some, a button link or or maybe in the footer or maybe in the header. We have a couple of links. We will see the percentage of the click next to all the links. It is good for the visualization. If you want to spot a particular link and you want to know that what is the percentage of subscribers who clicked on this particular link, then we can do that via email overlay view. Next, we have the link view in which we get one table, and in the form of a table, we have all this data. Let's say we have five different links. All the links will be listed over here, and we have how many total clicks, unique click, and then we have CTR. CTR is click-through rate, which means that how many opened the email and out of those, how many clicked on the particular link. We talked about the conversions, that how the conversion happens and all, and then service. Earlier, in making the earlier version, we used to have the service and we could have included those surveys into the email messages. Once we send this email message to the customers and they fill in the survey here, we used to capture the responses. Let's say the first question that how do you like our service? And the response would be, let's say 30% of subscribers are saying that we like your service, and let's say 40% are saying something like that. We can visualize what are the different questions that we have in our survey, rather responses that the customers are filling in. But since we do not have a service as of now, we cannot include that. Now the important one is the job links, and I want you guys to pay attention to this thing, job links. This is a bit complicated, or maybe I'll say not that complicated, but for that what I'll do, for this, to explain, let me send one more email message. Our requirement here is that, let's say I've sent one email in which the link is for, let's say, old spoons come. And by mistake, I've included the wrong URL, or maybe the impact URL, and the email is sent and I want to update the URL. How I can do that? I can do that via job links. I'll show you in action that how it works. I'll click on the send button. Click on next. I'm sending this email to the entire data extension. Where should we see the email? And this time let me make one more change. Let me add that open a pixel code that we can see. Now the opens are getting tracked. Let me open this email. Added the content. And then we will add the open pixel code. It says the email does not include the code to track. Purpose to include from the code. You click inserter for a snippet and then this is it. If you don't know, if you have not included that, it will show us the warning. Let's do that. We'll click on this track. Email opens. This is the code which will basically help us to track the opens. We'll click on the save button and then send this email. Let me delete all these things. This is a URL. For now, what we have done is that we have included the ever Google come. One more thing. When we hover over this, you can see like just right above the toolbar, in my left hand side corner, you can see Warrior Google come right. When we hover over this, you will see the URL review Google come. But when I send this email message to you guys, then you will see a different URL. Let me send this to explain this thing step by step. First of all, let me send this email. It's a button. You guys will receive in a minute or. Again, we'll go to the My Tracking and then you will see that the email has been sent to us. Now, what you guys need to do is when you receive this email, the link to website, right? That you are, and we have to copy that URL and paste it in the chat. It is in the schedule, the status right now. Once it is complete, you guys will receive the email. it says the link rate 100% and the open and the CTR rate is 2%. Right. Once you open the email, the open rate and the schedule will change. Did you guys receive the email? Can you please share the URL with me in the chat window? Don't open the URL, but copy the link URL by clicking on the right. You clicked on the no. You don't need to click on the profile. What do you need to do when you long press? You have joined using mobile, right? I opened the mail. You have opened the mail. Now you need to write people the link to website link. There's another URL, another link to website. You'll have to click on this and copy the link URL and then paste it in the chat window like this. Just seeing update profile. Is it the latest in you? Can you check the date? Can you see this thing? A link to website. You have to right click on this. Copy the URL, copy the link address and paste it in the chat window. I got it. Let me copy this and paste it over here. Now let me explain you what is happening in the background. This is the URL that we have got. Now when we click on this, it will redirect us to the Google.com, right? And with these parameters. This step number 1 is let me open this. Can we listen? You guys can share. See the PPT, right? What is happening is we have this email message, and in the email message we have included the link called Google.com, right? Now, once the email is sent from Marketing Cloud in the backend, it changes that URL, or basically it wraps that URL inside another URL, which looks like something like this. We have this, SC less 10 is the target, and then curious, it contains the information like the ID of the URL or other things. Let me show you over here. I've got right. Let me copy this one and paste it over here. The step number 1 in the backend Marketing Cloud changes that you have, or the app, set URL inside another URL which looks like this. C+10 is the target. Now it has 2 benefits. Now we'll understand like why it is happening. Because it is happening in the backend. Now, when we click that URL, because this is the URL that we can see in our email message. Now, when we click in on this URL, then we will be redirected to the original URL, that is Google.com. Why it is happening and why Marketing Cloud is doing it? It has two benefits. The first one is that now, if I am opening Google.com from my next form, any of the email message, Google.com is a different server, right? Now we are sending the request to that particular server. Marketing Cloud does not have the capability to capture the activity that is happening on the Google server, right? Marketing Cloud does not have any way to capture the click activity that you clicked on this particular link. You clicked on that particular way. Marketing Cloud does not know, because if you know directly to Google.com. What Marketing Cloud did is that, first of all, you will be redirected to one of their own website or one of their own page. That Marketing Cloud can track how many times you have visited this particular page. Now this page resides inside Marketing Cloud server, right? Marketing Cloud knows how many times you have clicked on this particular link, and you will be redirected to, like you were redirected to this particular page. Now, once we come to this particular page, which is this one, and I hit the URL, it means I'm going to this page, right? Now, once I land this particular page, what happens in the backend? That Marketing Cloud checks what is the URL that is nabbed with this URL. Now, how that identification is done? For that, we'll have to go to the job links. With the help of the ID, let me show you that. This is a URL, right? Whenever we include an email, wherever we include it in LinkedIn or email message, each and every link gets one URL ID. Now this URL ID will always remain constant. It will not change. And here we have the URL. Now this URL can be changed. Let's say if I want to change it to 3 schools come. In that case, what will happen? That at the time of whenever I'll click next on the email link, which is this one, I'll go to this particular page. First of all, now in the backend Marketing Cloud, we'll check. Now, what is the URL which is nabbed with this particular ID? This query string, like it is an encrypted string which contains all the information like ID and other attributes. Let's say we have this ID stored over here and it will seek you. What is the URL which is mapped against this particular ID? 767. Now it is reschools.com. Right. Whenever this URL will be resolved, it will be that we do 3 schools.com now. Let's see this. Now it is how it is that it reserves the URL and it says now what is the mapping. Now we have changed the link to U3 schools.com. Wrapping the URL gives us 2 benefits. The first one is that we are able to try the click activities, that how many times the link was clicked and all these click activities. And the second is that by mistake, if we have inserted a wrong URL and then later on if I want to change the URL, I can do that. But if we do not have this concept, then we won't be able to change the URL in the live email because now the email is sent. Now, If you click that link in your email message, you will see the link is now changed and we will be redirected to view3schools.com instead of Google. Let's see the e-commerce website. You know we have a huge list of products and by mistake we have included a URL which you know redirects you to a different product URL, and by mistake we have included the wrong URL. We can change that, but like this will take effect. Like this is the real time, but like once we do that, after that if somebody clicks on, they will be redirected. But before making all the changes, if somebody clicks on the URL, they will be redirected to the link that we have inserted. In job links, we can see all the links that we have in our email message. We can update the link and the other things. One more thing that I want to talk about is that here you can see some parameters. These are the URL parameters. We can delete them as well, or if you want to add, we can add any additional parameters. Let's say we are redirecting. You must have seen that on a product page, we have a couple of attributes, right? Maybe product name, product ID, language, and these kinds of things. If we have this base URL and we have other URL parameters, basically it is the way of the representation that how we are showing all the URL parameters. And this will be appended in the link. From where these are coming? If I take you to the email message, any doubts? Let's move on then. Let's talk about a few more things. Now we have seen that how we can prepare a target audience, how we can send the email, and how we can track the email. We can track, and for this particular email, it should show the open date as well. Let's check that as well. It is not showing the open date. It might take some time, but we'll check after some time. This caption should capture now. Now we have seen that how you can track the email, how you can track the open click activities, if you want to update the links, if you want to see different types of bounces, delivery, and on and forth. Now, whenever we send the email, we have to choose a formula, right? In Gmail, whenever we send the email, the from name is already configured. We don't need to worry about it again. But in Marketing Cloud, whenever we send the email, we might have a couple of from names. Couple of send the information that we want to associate it with or that we want to use to send the email. We can have multiple from names and we can choose at the time of sending the email that which from name we want to choose for this particular email sent. Now, whenever we send the email, there are a couple of things required. First one is the from name and from email address and from name. The other thing is the IP address that we require in order to send the email, because this is how the recipient's email server identifies from where this email is coming, right? You must have seen that in movies, or maybe you must have seen in news that whenever they receive this, illegal emails and all. Police kind of track that from where this email is coming by using the IP address. Whenever we send the email, we need one IP address. IP address is nothing but an address of a computer, of a server, which says this is the IP address, and through the IP address, we can see what is the location, what is the city, what is, all demographic information about that particular server, where it is located. In short, we need IP address and we need from email address to send the email out from Marketing Club. Marketing Club, what they have done is that they have created one sender profile in which we can configure the from name and from email address. And we have something called delivery profile where we can configure the IP address. Now we need these two things, sender profile and delivery profile, whenever we want to send the email. And Marketing Club has combined these two things in one package that called send classification. We will create sender profile, we create delivery profile, and then we will combine these two things. And we will configure these two things in the form called send classification. And we will be using send classification always to send the email out because it contains both the required things, sender profile and delivery profile. Let's take a look at this one by one. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.